The mysterious woman in the fog. Last Saturday, as I write this, was an incredibly foggy day. My family and I are quarantined in Jersey. My wife was shopping and my son was in his room. I was trying to get some work done on my computer in my office when my 6-year-old daughter Veronica came in and said she saw someone in the garden. I left my office and went to the window overlooking the backyard where the garden is, and sure enough, she was right. There was someone standing in my garden. They had their back to us, but they didn't seem to be doing anything, and I know this sounds unbelievable, but I really couldn't tell if it was a man or a woman. That's how foggy it was. I knocked on the glass to try to scare them away. I saw them turn their heads and walk deeper into my garden into the fog until we couldn't see them anymore. I asked Veronica to wait inside while I put on my shoes and quickly went out into the fog. The person just walked deeper into my property. You see, we live in what kids call the woods, so I have a large yard. Obviously, seeing someone in this yard is unsettling, and my natural reaction was to follow in the direction I saw the person walking. I began to hear a rhythmic tapping sound, and as I approached my storage shed, I realized it was coming from there. The shed came into view when I got close enough, and I saw the person at the door, seemingly closing it over and over again. I yelled, "Get out of here before I call the police." I got closer and got a better look at the person. It was a middle-aged woman. She looked marginalized. She said, "I'm sorry," at least 10 times, then ran away from me toward the road, quickly disappearing into the fog. Later that night, after my wife and I turned off the TV and tried to sleep, the silence in the room revealed a sound coming from outside. It was coming from the backyard, and I recognized it as the sound of the shed door closing again. I felt nauseous when I realized this. My wife was shaking and asking me to go out and chase whoever was there. I didn't tell her about the woman because I didn't want to scare her. I put on my shoes, grabbed a flashlight, turned on all the lights in the backyard of the house, and went outside, shouting immediately, trying to sound scary. The knocking stopped. The fog was still thick. I had to walk a little to be able to see the shed. The shed door was open. The woman was nowhere to be seen. I must admit that I was absolutely terrified of entering the completely dark shed at that moment. I assumed she must be there, but that's what you do as the man of the house. In the best of words, I stormed into the shed shouting, again playing the scare factor, but the shed was empty except for me. So I closed the door and turned the small lock on the handle. I shouted threateningly about calling the police very loudly and returned to the house. I turned off all the lights in the backyard as I returned to my bedroom. Veronica came to me crying. I asked her, "What's wrong?" She replied, "Look out my window." Those words hit me hard. I ran to her room and kept the light off, and I saw that woman standing at her window trying to open it. I got a clear view of the woman now, and her face was nothing short of horrific. Her skin was sagging and cracked, and her hair was frizzy and gray. Her teeth looked like they might be rotten too. It was clear that something was wrong with this woman, and I had to assume she was dangerous. I yelled at her, "Leave us alone." Then I went to grab the phone to call the police. This time, the woman ran away. The police couldn't really do anything except alert other officers via radio. Less than a week has passed, and yesterday, the storage shed door was left open again sometime during the night. I feel truly terrified for my family if I wake up one of these nights and find her inside the house.